It's a normal thing.
Please welcome on Daniel Wade.
Hey, Liam. First of all, thank you to Lewis for letting me come on and for all the hard work he puts in for tonight. I mean, all the setup is his, you know. And the amount of open mics you go to in town, they don't even have this setup with this kind of sound quality. So, you know, Lewis, applause for Lewis, please. Yeah. And of course for you for, you know, bless me, Father, and everything that went before. Depravity's where it's at. Anyway, my name is Daniel Wade. I've been here, I think, 3 times, although I may have been drunk the last time and may have imagined it, because I'm a functioning alcoholic, whatever the fuck that means. But I write poetry in my spare time, and I hope you enjoy it. So, is it safe to assume that everyone here is from Dublin? Yeah? Anyone here from Cork? No? Fucking excellent. Great. This one's called Flaring Dublin. Hope you enjoy it. It's about our city. It survived everything. Bombings, battles, recession, unemployment, all sorts of horrible things, and it still stands. Hope you enjoy it. The bridge is fireproof in this tough, tender city. A trick of lightning, the timbre of rain, the orchestral rush hour don't lend her pity, just their vigilance. She is both velvet and gritty, and God's iron fist, his crackling slap of rain, stings Dublin in her own tail, yet she stays aloof. O tender, tough city, your bridge is fireproof. I flung my poems to the wind like blind birds. Amid the nightclub's digital thunder, wearing delinquent jackboots, speech slurred in fury, lingos of sludge and weasel words, I realised that Dublin was no longer with me, for I was migratory, undisciplined. Like a blind bird, she flung me to the wind. Scrubbed in flammable liquid, Dublin is fireproof. Sinking back to silence, she became bilingual. Her blood is watertight, her keys are rust-proof. Brimming with talk and laughter, she's now aloof. Her bruised ritual could bring the pro-cathedral to its knees. She remains insoluble as a grid, as she soaks me in her flammable liquid. Hard work built her streets, hard work and anger. Now every street boasts a closed-down shop. The weight of ships yoke the Liffey's shoulder. Blizzards and heat waves atone for each other. The name of a writer or rebel steel her bridges with hope. She is our tough city. Her scars make her grand. She is our tender capital. Long may she stand. Thank you. How many people here have been thrown out of a nightclub in their time? Even just the once? Well, you have. 2 of them, okay. All right. Do you know the way? It's never your fault, man. It's just this is my point, though. You know, you go to certain pubs or nightclubs and you know nothing's happening. The bouncers are bored, so they decide to they provoke you. You know, you walk up to, no, sorry, can't come in. Well, why not? Well, I don't like the look of you. Well, you're an ugly fuck too, so you know, it checks out. But that's what he wants you to say. You know, he's provoking you. He wants to create something to do. So. Annoying someone's the best way to do it. So this is about that. That's when you give him his victory by just responding to him rather than just walking away. It's called Mosh Pit. You're a man of urban grit, flinging your lit cigarette in the bouncer's steel face. The soft growl of a city urging itself awake. The evening throbs with drum and bass. You peel off your cowl of calm, roaring a four-lettered psalm at Dublin's fluorescent canvas, in this typhoon of strobe lights, techno-purgatory, weekday nights, windows shred crumbs of glass. The kittenish howl of effeminate storms collapse, the malice of manhood slams your soft age. Craters of dubstep and drink promos, the DJ's digital sampled bellow, swell and ignite your dance of rage. As a stray fist, crated in fleshy cement, collides off your jaw. Your early intent on good, clean trouble is forgotten. The bouncer's steely eye pours over your face with the patience of a spider. The bruise is more radiant than rotten, fleecing you of your nighttime bluster. A sovereign ring is a fine knuckle duster for those who waltz on shredded glass. Your attackers drift on sambuca shots, their punchers mashing your chest in knots, proving your strident ill will useless. Your wallet gone, your face in bloody pulp. Your pride stops you from calling for help. You were asking for it, you know you were. With the gobshite way you carried on, you get no sympathy from the dawn. This is what the Mosh Pit gives. It's only fair. Thank you. Is Lewis in the room? Or is he? He's here? Is he here? He's outside? Grant. What? No, just he's the boss. You know, you defer to Lewis in these situations. In this case, the captain ain't here, so you're kind of, it's good marriage. You got to see what you're able to do and what you're not able to do. You know. All right. Next one's called My Father's Words, and do you know when you're 15 or 16 or 17 even, and you kind of go through this phase where you just hate your dad. You know, you just go through this, or if not hate him, just kind of you just feel antagonistic towards him because he's just kind of, you're the outlaw. You're just trying to fuck up my fun. You know, just because he's saying things to you that are just, for whatever reason, just depressing or just hard hitting, and then a few years go by, and then you realise that actually he's only saying that because he wants you to know that this shit's happening, and and he's right in a way. He's just saying this because he wants to prepare you, and you realise that after a while. Well, this one's about that, and it kind of comes from a thing my own father said to me, which was, sure, go ahead, go on out and have the crack, but just remember, you only get your head kicked in once. I don't think you need to be, I think we all know what that means. This one's about that. You only get your head kicked in once. My father's words resound, reminding me not to dampen faith and not to flatter or beseech. At best, I remember flotsam, branches of smoke, a vanishing point that couldn't be reached, the days colliding, erupting slowly, setting. I hated how easily distracted I became, unable to focus on books or drink down their papered message, opaque stanzas, fire-armed paragraphs. The old bedrock of adolescence bubbled over into my 20s as I groped for shelter from my father's words. I didn't expect to find love, or even the prospect of it. I spent a year sleeping on a friend's couch, trawling the city centre after dark, or else hung over in the garden of remembrance, the growl of a boy racer's engine burning up the street, the stereo's heavy throb lingering. I knew my head would be kicked in just this once. But is that the true grammar of obsession? Am I the hungry man, making a home out of my mind's fortified darkness? Or am I now the young man, unable to whisper farewell to the stern, looming beauty of cathedrals? the beauty that originally cemented my faith. I was never truly sociable, but I lament the company once it's gone. I blame my loneliness on circumstance, unanswered texts, phone calls never made, music eclipsing the conversation, too much gargle consumed. But self-pity repairs nothing now. I didn't find love, or even the prospect of it, because I never hunted it down. In his own serrated way, I know my father is a man of principle. His words not for wolfing down, but for chewing slowly. His sour wisdom spiced by a torrential hush. I opened the front door, the sun's insomnia lacerating my eyelid, to stand in the brazen delicacy of dawn, between doubt and my father's undimmed words. Thank you. Somewhere. Should be now. Okay. For better or for worse, this one's kind of become my signature poem in various things that I've at open mics and at various nights that I performed at, because it's predominantly musicians who perform, even if you're, and it's just me with a page doing my thing. And but because I grew up, I'm the son and nephew of musicians, and I just grew up with music in my house all the time, so that's just normal for me. But you know, music's what brings us together. It's what makes us. All the other boundaries just get dissolved because music does that. So it brings us together. So this one's for everyone who plays music, everyone who loves music, everyone who believes in the power of music. It's called Musos. All of Chet Baker's teeth fell out of his head. The golden voice turned silver when he fell. Johnny Rotten became John Lydon again and lived a second, fresher life with Public Image Limited. Neil Young didn't burn out or fade away, thankfully. Jim Morrison's gravestone always carries fresh graffiti. Iggy Pop appeared in car insurance adverts to survive. Oasis broke up, though a reunion may be on the cards. Guns N' Roses took 14 years to record Chinese Democracy, and Bob Dylan cut a Christmas album. Need I say more? Ian Curtis was the age I'm at now when he died. John Martin was wheelchair bound at his last ever gig. Alice in Chains got a new singer after Staley died. Alice in Chains still make tremendous music. Johnny Cash stressed from Reliable Black to the end. Johnny Cash said goodbye, recording other people's songs. The Frames when they released Fitzcarraldo. The Frames when they released Burn the Maps. Black Flag had a breakdown. The dead Kennedys didn't care. Nick Cave sang about not getting pussy. Nick Cave is flying love's banner to this day. Marilyn Manson talking sense in Bowling for Columbine. Tom Waits going from balladeer to showman. Shane MacGowan covering I Put a Spell on You. Shane MacGowan singing about the old main drag, just to make London sound like purgatory. Stiff Little Fingers raging at every power group you can name. Stiff Little Fingers being banned off the radio for singing about the hostage crisis in Lebanon. Slipknot playing Snuff, and Vermilion Part 2. Leonard Cohen's voice growing deeper. Leonard Cohen's voice shaking the earth. Hank Williams dying happy. Charles Mingus using Spanish guitar on The Black Saint and Sinner Lady. Jeff Buckley reaching falsetto on Corpus Christi. Jeff Buckley now notorious for dying with just one album to his name. The blood boiled worryingly whenever I listen to Rage Against the Machine. Everything stops being so sacred. Nickelback were unloved everywhere, yet they made such impassioned music. Pearl Jam jammed with Crazy Horse at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1995. Who else is going out on a ruptured limb? Now there's a precious thought. The Music Box, unfettering your life soundtrack. The hippie, the punk, the romantic, the abuser, the scholar, the alco, the loner, the party host, the clown, the funeral director, the runaway, and the convict, all out on bruised and broken limbs in the fullness of time. Thank you. And again, applause for Lewis and everyone else who's been here tonight. Doing great stuff.